Right now, there's a decent chance someone in your life is manipulating you, and you have no idea it's happening. Not a villain, not some obvious con artist. It's usually someone close, a friend, a partner, a coworker, a family member, someone you trust. Because here's the thing about real manipulation. It doesn't feel like manipulation. It feels normal. It feels like your fault. It feels like you're the problem. That's the whole trick. The best manipulators don't leave fingerprints. They make you question yourself so smoothly that you defend them, even while they're the ones hurting you. So today, I'm going to show you the 6 hidden signs someone is secretly manipulating you. And I'll be honest with you, by the time we get to sign number 4, you're probably going to think of a specific person. And number 6 is the one almost nobody catches until it's too late. Watch till the end, because I'll also show you exactly how to protect yourself once you see it. Before we get to the signs, you need to understand why manipulation is so hard to detect. Because if it were obvious, nobody would fall for it. Here's the psychology. Your brain is wired to trust the people close to you. It has to be, you can't function questioning every single person every single day. So you give the people in your life the benefit of the doubt automatically. Manipulators, even the ones who don't consciously realize they're doing it, exploit exactly that. They operate inside your trust. So when something feels off, your brain doesn't think I'm being manipulated. It thinks, I must be overreacting. I'm being too sensitive. It's probably me. And that self-doubt, that's not a bug. For the manipulator, that's the goal. Confusion is the weapon. A person who's confused and doubting themselves is a person who's easy to control. So as we go through these 6 signs, notice the feeling each one leaves behind, because the feeling is the real evidence. The first sign is that somehow you're always the one who ends up apologizing. Think about your relationships for a second. Is there someone in your life where, no matter what happens, the conversation always ends with you saying sorry? Even when you were the one who got hurt? That's a red flag. A manipulator has a talent for flipping the script. You come to them upset about something they did. Within minutes, somehow, the entire conversation is about how you made them feel, how you attacked them, how you're always so negative. And before you know it, you're comforting them and apologizing for bringing it up in the first place. Let me give you a real example. Say your friend forgot your birthday, completely. You bring it up gently. Instead of saying, I'm so sorry, they hit you with, wow, I've been going through the hardest time of my life, and you're mad about a birthday? I thought you of all people would understand, and suddenly you're apologizing to the person who forgot your birthday. Feel how that works? Your legitimate hurt got turned into their wound. Your problem became your fault. Here's the test. After a disagreement with this person, do you walk away feeling heard, or do you walk away feeling guilty, drained, and confused about how it even got turned around on you? If you're always the one apologizing, pay attention. Healthy people take responsibility. Manipulators redirect it. The second sign is that they rewrite reality and make you doubt your own memory. You remember a conversation clearly. You know what was said. But when you bring it up, they look you dead in the eyes and say, that never happened. You're remembering it wrong. I never said that. And they say it with such total confidence that you actually start to wonder, did I imagine it? This is called gaslighting, and it's one of the most damaging forms of manipulation there is, because it doesn't just win the argument, it slowly makes you stop trusting your own mind. Here's what makes it so effective. The first time you push back, no, you definitely said that, but they double down, calm and certain, every single time. And after enough rounds of this, something breaks. You stop trusting your own memory. You start assuming you're the one who's wrong. And once you don't trust yourself, you have to rely on them to tell you what's real. That's the end game. A person who doesn't trust their own perception becomes completely dependent on the manipulator's version of events. The defense here is simple but powerful. Keep a record, write things down, save the texts, not to start a fight, but to protect your own sense of reality. When you have proof, gaslighting stops working, because the one thing a gaslighter can't survive is evidence. And if you're realizing this describes someone right now, keep watching, because it gets more specific. The third sign is that they run hot and cold, and it keeps you hooked. One day they're the warmest, most generous, most loving person in the world. They make you feel special in a way nobody else does. And then out of nowhere they go cold, distant, punishing, and you have no idea what you did wrong. So what do? You chase, you try harder, you bend over backwards to get that warm version back. And when they finally give it to you again, the relief feels incredible. Here's the disturbing part. This is the exact same psychology that makes gambling addictive. It's called intermittent reinforcement. When a reward comes randomly, sometimes yes, sometimes no, your brain becomes obsessed with chasing it. A slot machine doesn't pay out every time. That unpredictability is exactly why people can't walk away. Manipulators do the same thing with affection. The warmth becomes the jackpot, and you keep pulling the lever. And notice what this does. It puts you in a constant state of anxiety, always working to please them, always walking on eggshells. You've stopped asking, is this person good to me, and started asking, what do I need to do to make them happy? The defense? Watch for the pattern, not the moments. Anyone can have a bad day, but if someone's affection is a cycle of reward and punishment that keeps you anxious and chasing, that's not love. That's a leash. The fourth sign, and this is the one you're going to recognize, is that they weaponize guilt. Everything becomes something you owe them. Every favor gets remembered, tallied, and brought back up at exactly the right moment. You can't make a decision for yourself without them making you feel selfish for it. You want to spend the weekend with your own friends? Oh, I guess after everything I've done for you, that's how it is. You want to say no to something? It's fine. I'll just deal with it alone, like always. They never actually say do what I want. They just make any other choice feel unbearable. Guilt does the work for them. Here's what makes this so effective. It targets good people. If you're kind, empathetic, someone who genuinely cares about others' feelings, you're the perfect target. Because your own conscience becomes the weapon. They just squeeze it. They know you'll cave because you can't stand feeling like a bad person. And that's the trap. They've trained you to believe that setting a boundary makes you selfish. That saying no makes you cruel. So you keep saying yes to protect yourself from a guilt they manufactured. The defense is one question. When that wave of guilt hits, stop and ask yourself, did I actually do something wrong here? Or am I just being made to feel like I did? Real guilt comes from your actions. Manufactured guilt gets installed by someone who benefits from it. Learn to tell the difference, and the guilt machine loses its power. The fifth sign is that slowly, quietly, they cut you off from everyone else. This one is subtle. It almost never looks like control at first. It looks like closeness. It starts small. Little comments about your friends. I just don't think she's a good influence on you. Your family doesn't really get you like I do. Why do you even hang out with them? They don't appreciate you. Each comment on its own seems harmless, even caring. But add them up over months, and something happens. You start seeing your friends less. You start keeping a little distance from your family. And slowly, without ever noticing the moment it happened, this one person has become your entire world. And here's why manipulators do this, whether they plan it or not. Your friends and family are your reality check. They're the people who'd look at the situation from the outside and say, hey, the way they're treating you isn't okay. The manipulator needs those voices gone. Because as long as you have people reminding you what you deserve, they can't fully control the story. Isolation removes the witnesses. The defense. Protect your relationships like your life depends on it, because your clarity does. If someone consistently wants you away from the people who love you, ask yourself why. Someone who truly cares about you wants you supported, surrounded by people who lift you up. They don't want to be your only option. They want you to be okay. Now the last sign, this is the one almost nobody catches in time. The sixth sign, the most dangerous one, is that they use your deepest insecurities against you. Here's what makes this so hard to see. Early on, a skilled manipulator does something that feels amazing. They listen deeply. They ask about your childhood, your fears, your past wounds, the things you're most insecure about. And it feels like, finally, someone truly gets you. But watch what happens later. When they need leverage, when they want to win, or control, or keep you small, those exact things you shared come back as weapons. Insecure about your intelligence? In an argument, suddenly it's, well, you've never been the smart one. Scared of being abandoned? They'll dangle leaving, just enough to keep you terrified and obedient. Every vulnerability you trusted them with becomes a button they know exactly how to press. This is the deepest betrayal, because it turns your openness, the most human thing about you, into the very thing that hurts you. And it teaches you a terrible lesson, that being vulnerable is dangerous, that trusting people gets you hurt. Here's what I need you to understand. The problem was never your vulnerability. There is nothing wrong with being open, trusting, and human. The problem is a person who took that gift and used it as a weapon. The defense. Notice who uses your past against you and who protects it. The right people, when they know your wounds, become more gentle with them. Manipulators become more precise. Watch what someone does with the softest parts of you. It tells you everything. So now you can see the 6 signs, but awareness is only step 1. Here's what actually matters. You do not need to confront anyone. You don't need a dramatic showdown. The single most powerful thing you can do is simpler than that. Stop reacting the way they expect. Manipulation runs on your predictable responses, your guilt, your apology, your chasing, your self-doubt. The moment you see the pattern clearly, it starts to lose its grip. You get quiet, you stop over-explaining, you keep your evidence, you reconnect with the people who love you, and you trust yourself again. You can't be controlled by a game you can finally see. Here's the truth I'll leave you with. Recognizing manipulation isn't about becoming cold or paranoid or trusting no one. It's the opposite. It's about protecting your ability to keep trusting the right people by finally seeing the ones who were taking advantage of it. Your peace is not something you owe anyone, and you were never the problem. If even one of these 6 signs made you think of someone, tell me in the comments which number hit hardest. And if this helped you see something clearly, subscribe, because understanding people is the one skill that protects every part of your life. Take care of yourself. I'll see you in the next one.